Hello, hello, what is up, friends? How are you today? I'm Laura Kashera, and I am here to talk to you about dessert. Keto dessert specifically, and low carb, high fat. So if you're following that lifestyle, you want to get into that lifestyle, you want to know more about this lifestyle, I'd love to talk to you about it. I've been doing the keto diet for about 6 weeks now, and I absolutely love it. I've lost 22 pounds, a bunch of inches, a bunch of body fat. And so anyway, I'm one of those people that has always craved sweets at night. Sweets, sweet and salty, it doesn't really matter. I just like to be snacking, eating on something at night. After a movie, you know, popcorn, chips and salsa, chocolate, anything really. Sometimes I don't even care if I want it or not. And so today I want to talk to you about peanut butter cups. Everyone likes Reese's, or a lot of people do, and so I'm always looking for a healthier version of that, the stuff that we eat every day that's unhealthy, that I can make work into this plan. So first of all, if you're watching live, I'd love for you to drop a 1 below, and if you're watching the replay, feel free to drop a 2 below. If you're new to my broadcast, please drop the word new below so that I can reach out and say hi and we can become better friends. So I'm sorry a little bit about the lighting here. I'm trying to get this whole keto kitchen thing figured out with lights, and I actually have a skylight above my head, so I'm sorry if the lighting kind of changes a little bit crazy here, but we're gonna get it worked out. I've ordered some more lights, so we'll get it figured out. Anyway, again, my name is Laura Kashera, and let's talk about keto peanut butter cups. So super easy to make. Feel free to share it with your friends. If you share during the live, I'd love to give you a full name shout out. I really appreciate it. I know there's a ton of people doing this plan right now, and this would totally help them if they crave sweets like I know I do. So this is super easy. All you need is coconut oil. I already have the lids off because I was just making my first batch. I usually have 2 or 3 batches on hand. I got this giant tub, I think from Costco, maybe? Anyway, coconut oil is essential. It helps the cups to firm up. Peanut butter. You can also use almond butter. You just want to make sure that for your plan that the ingredients just say the nut of that butter, like peanuts or almonds, and then salt. That's it. You don't want any more ingredients than that. It can be just the nut, just peanuts if you want. This one I think is from Walmart. I also get it at my local grocery store. This is Adam's 100% natural creamy peanut butter. You could also use chunky peanut butter, I'm sure, or almond butter. I've done that too. And then, but I kind of like the saltiness of the peanut butter. So this is the one I'm going to be using today. And then you just need unsweetened cocoa. So I'm going to be using Hershey's cocoa today. Lastly, to sweeten it up a little bit, I'm going to be using some Truvia. I just have the little packets. I keep them kind of in my purse if I need them. If you have another sweetener that works on this plan, like Swerve or something else, I can't think of another brand, you can also use that if you prefer that. So the only tool you're going to need is a muffin pan. You can either use a mini, which is what I'm going to be showing you today. Oh my goodness, look at that. The lighting changed. I'm going to use the mini pan. You can also use the big muffin pans. It makes less cups, but of course they're more filling than the miniature ones. By the way, I got these on Amazon as a set, the mini and the regular, and a whisk for like $14.95. I personally love the silicone because you keep these cups in the freezer and they're really easy to just pop out when you've like got a craving. You're like, no time, I can't scrape. Like, these are awesome. You just go pop one right in your mouth, actually. So I'm going to use the silicone tray for that. I have mixing bowls, and so the first layer is the chocolate layer, kind of like a Reese's cup. And so in the chocolate layer, I'm going to have 4 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa. And you'll notice that my measurements are pretty kind of generous because I've made these so many times that I just kind of scoop it in, but you can definitely be exact your first time so you can kind of eyeball it in the future. So first chocolate layer, 4 tablespoons cocoa, 4 tablespoons of peanut or almond butter. Putting this in the bowl. I hope you guys can see the bowl. 3, and then 4. Again, if it's a little over, that's totally okay. The only thing that would affect is if you're counting macros, tracking your carbs exactly specifically, then you really are going to want to be exact on those proportions. And then a teaspoon of stevia. This can of course be more or less than that. That's just kind of what I like. Some people I know like extra and some like less, and so I'm going to do 2 packets here. That usually comes out to roughly a teaspoon for me. And then coconut oil, 3 tablespoons of coconut oil. Don't get overwhelmed. These are so easy to make, not even kidding. I'm not tracking my macros. I did a little bit at the beginning and then kind of figured out what my body can handle, and so I kind of just eyeball everything now because I've made them a few times. So once you have your coconut oil, your peanut butter, your cocoa, and your stevia in the bowl, you're going to microwave it for about a minute or less, just until it's melted. There we go. And so when that's melting, I get my muffin tray ready. Again, the silicone's awesome because you don't have to grease it at all. I haven't actually made them in a metal pan because, like I said, I didn't want to scratch the pan with a knife trying to get these cups out. I want access to dessert right away. So I'm going to use the mini muffin pan. There's really no preparation. These also go in the dishwasher. It's totally awesome. I'm so grateful for them. Great Amazon find. Okay, so that was only 30 seconds in my microwave. And then you can see it's kind of all soupy, melty like this. It's really just important that the peanut butter is softened and the coconut oil especially is melted, because as you know, coconut oil is in a firm state when you buy it in jars most of the time, and so that's really what's going to firm up our cups, and so keep them into a little cup shape. So then once it's all melted, just like this, yeah, you can see. Okay. You can either do it like sloppily, which I've totally done when I'm in a hurry, and just pour it in all the cups, or you can take a little spoon, and I just pour enough in each cup to make a little layer on the bottom. That's it. I don't make a really thick layer. Granted, if you're going to do the bigger size muffin pan, then of course you're going to need more chocolate, so that's a full layer. See if I can show you. There you go. Just enough chocolate, and actually this one batch, I just made one earlier, will make all of these little mini muffins. I think there's 24. I'm not totally sure. Yeah, 24. And so I just put a little bit of chocolate just to make a bottom layer in the bottom of the pan. As soon as you are done with that, in the whole tray, you're going to put them into the freezer, just enough so that they harden up from the coconut oil. And I actually did that ahead of time so that this live wouldn't be like 20 minutes long. And so you make the chocolate layer, and it's going to harden like this. Don't mind these are completed for me to show you at the end. So once they're hardened like this, then we're going to start our peanut butter layer. And actually, while the chocolate layer is in the freezer, you can start mixing up the peanut butter layer and let it get all melted. And so for the peanut butter layer, we are going to take 5 tablespoons of peanut butter. 1. Another thing I forgot to tell you guys is if you're looking for another thing to make it a little bit sweeter, you can either do more stevia, you could add in another sweetener that you like, or if any of you guys have tried Flavor God seasonings, they're really awesome. And I have his chocolate donut seasoning right here. It's really delicious. It has less than 1 carb per serving. The only sweetener is from honey, and so if your carbs allow for it for the day, you can totally dump some of this in too. It kind of gives it a nice rich chocolatey flavor if you're looking for that extra bit of sugar. Okay, now I have peanut butter all over myself. If you love chocolate, feel free to drop a chocolate bar below. And I'd love to know, are you like more of a sweet or salty person? Like if you have cravings at night, do you prefer like chips or do you prefer dessert? I don't know. I love chips and salsa for sure. Anyway, so peanut butter layer, 5 tablespoons peanut butter, 3 tablespoons of coconut oil, again to make the layer harden up on top and keep our peanut butter cup solidly together. You are going to want to keep these in the freezer at all times because they will melt down. Like coconut oil melts and turns back into a liquid state if it's at a warm room temperature. I totally left the bag out of these one day and the whole bag just melted into one big chocolate mess, but I put it back in the freezer and just used it as bark and ate the bark. That was delicious also. And so then the peanut butter layer, the top layer is 5 tablespoons peanut butter, 3 tablespoons coconut oil, And again, I did a teaspoon of stevia. Again, stevia is totally up to you, which kind of sweetener you want to use. I do the ones that are keto approved. You can do a 1/4 teaspoon, you can do a tablespoon, however sweet you need it to cut that craving and keep you from eating crap. Then put that in here. So then you're gonna microwave the peanut butter layer. Again, it's only about 20 or 30 seconds. And then at this point, usually that's taken a long enough amount of time for my chocolate layer to freeze in the freezer, because it's so thin that it hardens up really quickly, and it's really awesome. Again, this is gonna make about 24 of the mini muffin tray cups, and they're very small, but I kind of like the smaller personally because then I can have a few more throughout the day. I don't mind the giant ones. I've definitely made them before, but they tend to melt in my fingers because they're larger, and then I feel like I can only have like one a day, whereas with the little ones I can kind of have a few throughout the day whenever I'm having cravings or really hungry. So, peanut butter layer is now all melty. I don't know if you can see that. I officially have peanut butter everywhere, but I'm not mad at it because I love peanut butter. Okay, so I'm taking my little whisk, mixing this up. And it's gonna be really soupy, like really, really runny. That's totally okay, that's how you want it. Again, if you're one of those people with all those great kitchen gadgets, I'm sure there's some sort of device like that you could use that would help you to pour them very carefully into the cups. But I do not have anything like that. I did have a little, I think it's dirty right now, but I have a Pyrex. Those are really awesome for pouring. So I'm just gonna take a little teaspoon like this and just pour enough of the peanut butter mixture in to cover the chocolate layer. Again, if you wanted to make these really thick peanut butter cups, then instead of making all 24, you could make 12. Just make half of them and fill up the cup to the brim. And then they'll be, you know, a thick, dense peanut butter cup. They'll still firm up perfectly because they'll be in the freezer and the coconut oil will do its magic. But anyway, you're gonna end up with an entire peanut butter layer on top of the chocolate, just like so. You can see my chocolate ones in the back because I don't want to keep you forever here. I know it's Sunday and we're all busy, but so you're gonna put the peanut butter layer then back in the freezer, just a couple minutes, and then they're done. And so I already pre-made some that are done so I could pop them out and show you. This is what they look like. I know they're thin. Like I said, I like the thinner ones because I can eat 3 or 4 a day. But you can also make the thicker ones, the bigger jumbo size. They will start melting, like I said, but they're so delicious. You will totally love them. And the best part is they keep you really full because of the healthy fats, and they'll totally cut your sweets craving. And again, keep them in the freezer. The fridge has worked okay too, but if you leave them out, they're gonna melt down into a pool mess of chocolate, and then you've got chocolate bark, so don't throw it away. It's still delicious, just messier, but these are totally awesome if you need help curbing that sweets craving. So I hope this has helped you out. These are super simple to make. Don't get overwhelmed. They're awesome. I love them so much. I'll make sure to post the recipe in the comments below when I'm done. And again, my name is Laura Kashira. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day.